Help us to help you by just going back to the basics. Put game testers out there. I do not want to be a game tester. I want to play the game that has been game tested. That's your job, Mike Wang. Hey, what's up, YouTube? You already know I'm AllCity with AllCityLiveTV.com, and thank you for tuning in. I wanted to touch base on this most recent post from Mike Wang that he put up on Reddit, and I wanted to kind of break some things down for you guys so you guys can know what we've experienced in the past prior to a release of a new 2K versus what we're going to see in the future, so that way you don't get your hopes too high. Let's just break this down. Mike Wang sent out a message to the Reddit community. He says, for 2K22, I'm going to switch the logic back to using perimeter defense rating for outside jump shot contests like it was in 2K20. Now, if you guys don't know, the way 2K handles things, like what they've done in the past, is they'll take certain aspects from previous versions of 2K and then incorporate them into the newer versions of 2K. But this is what I find difficult, and this is what I want to help you guys understand. Remember, NBA 2K21 for next gen was supposed to be built from the ground up. So how do you take something that was in a previous version and incorporate it back into a game that was built from the ground up? Help me understand that. That's one aspect of it. I'm not saying that they can't just take the mechanic of a previous version and incorporate it into the next gen version or a game that was built from the ground up, because as we've seen in NBA 2K21, a lot of the animations have been recycled. Although the gameplay is a lot different, it's not favorable to a huge part of the community. I got to say it is very different from current gen versions of the game. Whether that's good or bad, I think that's based on your guys' opinion. For me, it wasn't also great, and I'm not really enjoying my experience on NBA 2K21 for next gen, but we all know that to be the case with me just not playing the game, and a lot of other people just stop playing NBA 2K21 on next gen. Can NBA 2K22 make a comeback? Let's go through the remainder of his message. He says, what rating makes more sense for contesting shots in the paint? Interior defense or the block rating? Help me understand, y'all. Now, do you think for a second that I could sit here as a consumer of 2K who's been purchasing the game for over 20 years since its first release on Dreamcast, I could be led to believe that the head developer is gonna ask the community with 20 years experience developing this game, he's gonna actually reach out to the community that constantly leaves the developer confused, and they still have not figured it out. In fact, I think more so than ever, and this could be due to the fact that a lot more people are online, and it's a lot easier to communicate than it was back in the day. But I got to say, the community has been extremely vocal on their disapproval for NBA 2K21 on next gen. And you think that the head developer is gonna actually, now the head developer got all this experience, you think he's gonna reach out to the same community that has left him confused for over 20 years? They still haven't got it right. They've had certain aspects, but they just can't get it right. We had NBA 2K16, NBA 2K19, and they continue to change what feels alright instead of building on what feels right. They completely change what feels right. We didn't ask for NBA Jam. We didn't ask for all these crazy contact dunks. We want basketball. Do not dumb the game down. And that is just kind of like a slap in the face per se, because you're making changes that the community does not ask for, and you're dumbing the experience down, thinking that that's what we expect out of our gameplay. It is not what we expect. We expect good gameplay, good basketball fundamentals and mechanics. We want to see that in the game. We don't want to get stuck in canned animations. Mike Wang, help us to help you by just going back to the basics. Put game testers out there. I do not want to be a game tester. I want to play the game that has been game tested. I don't want to be the one responsible for the game that I purchased. That's your job, Mike Wang. Do your job. Have your development team do their job. Take it back to the basics. 2K16, 2K19, and I don't know if you guys have a preference for any other 2K out there, but take it back to the basics, make it feel like basketball again. Everyone has their opinions and their thoughts, and you're never going to get it right by reaching out to the same community. Listen, what if the first statement here was for 2K22, I'm going to switch the logic back to using perimeter defense rating for outside jump shot contests. What were you using for 2K21? If it's not perimeter defense, what other aspect of defense would be considered shot contests along the perimeter? Perimeter defense. Help me understand what you were using for NBA 2K21 that you need to take it back to NBA 2K20. I don't understand it. I just want to kind of bring this up because there's 2K doing damage control. They're really good at doing damage control. They see where they fell short and they make up for it the next release, which is what they're doing now for NBA 2K22. One of the biggest complaints by like a good majority of the 2K community was that defense was absolutely terrible, unheard of, never seen anything like it. Such poor defense in NBA 2K21. And that was universal. I think that was the universal opinion and thought of a lot of players. NBA 2K21 was extremely offense focused. Too offense focused. Offense was too overpowered, where the defense was just not there. So we wanted to see more defense. 2K knows, and they heard the community say, we want to see more defense. So in fact, doing damage control, they're going to say and kind of touch base with the community and make them think that they're going to fix defense. We went through this just last year with their courtside marketing reports. That's what I call them. They seem to be marketing reports because almost everything that they touch base on in these extensive courtside reports was the opposite of what they delivered in the gameplay. So keep that in mind when you're making your decision on purchasing or pre-ordering NBA 2K22. Just keep that in mind. I want to let you guys know that I am going to get the game, but I'm going to get it more so from an analytical standpoint. I will be hopeful and my fingers will be crossed that they will create a great game. I'm highly doubtful. I'm leaning more so on the side that we're going to get more of the same, but I will remain hopeful that they can get it right. Come on, Mike Wang, just get it right. I hope you guys found this video helpful and or informative. If you did, please consider dropping a like on the video. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing as we intend to have a ton of next gen content coming your way. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy, y'all.